it's very similar, very similar. Obviously, we have very different lives. We're at different points in our life, but very similar in that um, I left a position in human resources that I loved, working for people that I loved, not because so much of the people, because of the job. Human resources today, and anyone who's in human resources or management of any kind will be able to relate to this, is very difficult. Things are changing. It's not like it was when I went into the work world. For me, anyway, it was what can I give to my employer? Now, in my opinion, the world has very much shifted, and sort of millennials and those behind the millennials, they want more. They want to work less. They want to earn more. They're focused on life. They're focused on balance. Whereas that wasn't the case. When I was always taught, you work really, really, really hard as you can. You sock away as much money as you can, then you retire with a good pension, benefits, whatever, right? So it's just different. It's not right or wrong. It's just different. And so for me, being in human resources and having constant turnover of employees, and people prioritizing their life, which I totally 100% agree with, but it's very difficult when you're the employer and people are doing that, because you get more turnover, you get more sick time, you get people not committed, you get people quitting on the spot, whereas you never did that before. It was 2 weeks notice, never burn a bridge. Now it's like, you know what? They would call in the morning and say, I got another job yesterday, I'm done. And employers as well are to blame, because employers are hiring people and saying, if you don't take the job today, we're moving on to the next person. So there's all these issues. So I left human resources. I said, I'm going to go back into a sales position. I'm going to go back into consulting with business owners, helping people, working with people. So I went into a position with the CFIB, actually, the Canadian Federation of Independent Business, and I loved it. And I was working with business owners, and I was helping and providing answers, and they wanted what I had to give, and it was great. And then, COVID came, and they had to downsize, and I was gone. So here I am, not even a year into this new job, having left a great job, going, well, what do we do now?
Wow.
I don't want to start over. What do I do? So I started looking online. And for me, I started looking at working for myself because I did not want to fall back into a position where I was stressed again, where someone else was dictating my life. My husband's a firefighter. He has a lot of time off. And one of the things that we struggled with was even when I had 4 or 5 or 6 weeks vacation, I couldn't take it all at once like he does. So he might have a month off and want to go travel and take the kids. I couldn't go. Or he would have a Friday or a Thursday or a Wednesday off, and he'd want to take the kids to a roller coaster park for the day. I couldn't go. I had to space my vacation and use it sparingly. So I thought, I don't want to do that again. I don't want us, we're finally together, especially, when I lost my job and all of a sudden we were thrown together in isolation because everything was shut down. For a lot of people, that was stressful. For us, that was a time to come back together and reestablish our relationship as a couple, rebuild our bonds as a family, laugh more, do more together. For us, it was fantastic. And I just couldn't see myself ruining that by going back to a full-time 40-hour a week, 60-hour a week, high-stress job. And, I think a lot of people can relate to that. And is it scary starting something new? Absolutely it is. But like I said in the first episode, I'm a risk taker, and my husband was super skeptical, but he said, give it a try and we'll see what happens. And, we're both really glad that that's the way it went. So yeah, for me, the difference from before and after is huge. Huge. For me, a typical day in the life of before was get up, get the kids whatever they needed, rush, get ready, drive the commute to work, stop at Tim Hortons, rush through the line, get to work, barely put down my purse, and boom, the day started, and it was go, 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 go. So being able now to not wake up to an alarm most days, especially now that the kids are out of school and I don't have to help them in the morning, I can get up, see how I feel.
Yeah.
Do I feel like filming today? Do I feel like posting today? Do I feel like reaching out to people today? What do I feel like doing? Do I feel like just having an off day? And so my off days can be when I feel like, not because it's Saturday or because it's Sunday.
Yes.
Yes. I can think of I'm sure you can think of lots of other great things about making your own schedule.
Yeah, everything.
Like running errands.
Oh, it's the best.
It is so nice to be able to go to the grocery store when there's no one there and not when it's completely packed.
Yeah.
That's nice. Being able to see friends who are also not on a 9 to 5 schedule and grab a coffee because, people are so busy. I found, and I don't know if you find the same thing, but getting together with people evenings and weekends is difficult when your whole week is blocked up by work because you get home and you have, kids to feed, dishes to do, chores to do, laundry to do, whatever it is. Time gets eaten up.
Yeah.
But when you can work and do those things at the same time like we do, it feels like you have so many more hours in the day.
Absolutely. Yeah, I can so relate to that. And I think, especially your story, I think so many people right now really can relate to what you went through because of the circumstance. I mean, how many other people were left going, oh my gosh, what now? What am I going to do? Right? It wasn't just temporary, some leave, some were permanently like they're gone. And I think that's why, especially now, there are people like us that were looking for something else, like looking for something that you're in control of and someone else isn't in control to put the stop button on you.
Yeah.
Right.
And interestingly enough, I actually looked into this opportunity several years ago.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it until recently that I had looked at it. But when I looked at it, I was working full time. And I can't remember my mindset exactly, but I know I was either looking for a way out or more income because, my husband and I have always had good jobs, but it doesn't seem to be enough when you work for someone else. So you're either working tons of overtime to make that extra money, or you're working those high stress, high demand, in my husband's case, high risk positions. And so you're getting the pay for it. But the reality is you're not taking home a lot of that because in our positions, we were putting a lot into pensions required by the company, a lot into benefits, union dues in his case, taxes. When you're both working and you're both making high level, you're actually paying so much in taxes. Sometimes you look at it and go, geez, like since I have been working from home in my own business, it's made a huge difference, for us in our taxes as well.
Yes.
So there's a lot of benefits. But my point is, I would love to delve in, maybe on another of these series episodes about you can do this while you're still working. And, in a perfect world, I wouldn't have been walked off my job. And I would have loved to have found this, done my job, and built this business part-time, which we know so many people do.
Majority do.
Yeah, they build part-time while they're working.
Yeah.
And so many of them never think they'll leave their existing job. But so many of them do so well online that they end up quitting and giving up, in some cases, pensions.
Yeah.
Because they're doing better here and they start to see, I don't need this stress. I don't need to work 60 hours a week. Yeah. I mean, you know some people, I know some people. It's amazing to me. And I think a lot of our viewers probably are thinking, well, yeah, great. You can, someone who doesn't have a second income isn't going to just walk away from their job necessarily to start this.
No. And you know what? You shouldn't. I mean, me and you are at home, but that isn't the case for 90%, 95% of people that start anything. Yeah. You got to wait till it builds and like there is time to put into it. And the great thing about automation and what we are now experiencing with the success we're both seeing is that automation is the key. You need to wake up in the morning and sleep. And while you're sleeping, you get to wake up and see all of the people that are interested in what you have to offer. I didn't have to work all night. I got to go to sleep. And that's the difference. Like, yes, of course, anything you're building, there's time, there's commitment for sure.
Yeah.
But not everything needs the same commitment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. And I mean, we're in Canada, and in Canada, prior to the pandemic, a lot of businesses had not yet embraced the whole remote working thing. So even as you grew up the ladder in your company, if you were a senior manager or a vice president or a president, you had some automation because you have the workers doing the work and you have the admin people doing the paperwork for you. But you're still required to physically be, in a lot of cases, at that office and available and participating in all of those things. And they may not have to work as hard because their work is their knowledge and their contribution to decision making and all of that. But there's that requirement to physically be there. You know, even on days where I put in a 6-hour day, and sometimes I do, sometimes I wake up and I just think, today's the day I'm going to work. I'm going to work with some of my people. I'm going to put out some new ads. I'm going to write some new posts. I'm going to really work today. Even if I'm putting 6, 7, 8 hours in that day, I could be doing it from my deck, from you know, sitting and having a coffee on the couch with my feet up, which is my favorite place to work. When we start traveling, I'm so excited that he'll be driving and I'll be sitting in the passenger seat, being able to work during that drive time and get on my laptop and do what needs to be done so that when we get there, I get to enjoy. I mean, you know, the world is changing. You look at some other countries, like Sweden is one, I think. They're getting shorter work days. They're getting more people working remotely. And now Canada and the US are starting to catch up with that sort of mindset. But it's got a, you know, this pandemic has put a big jump in that, but it's still got a long way to go. And so, you know, whether it's online business or using automation, I agree 100%. People have to start balancing work.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think we're at 24 minutes. This was such a fun chat. This was great. I love the deep diving. I mean, I live for this. Like this.
I don't know how we're going to stick to 20 minutes the way you and I just keep talking, but hey.
I think it's great. You know, it's also, you know, you guys just let us know where you're coming in from. Where are you in the world? Because we literally, you could be anywhere and we wouldn't know it. So put #replay. Let us know where you're tuning in from, because there's people from all over the world that are going to be seeing this. So we want to know where you're from. And if you ever have any questions for us, please put it in the chat. We'd be happy to answer it. And then Nikki, maybe next series, we'll touch on something else. What do you think?
Absolutely. I mean, we're going to dive into all kinds of topics. We're going to talk more about why we're here, before and after, things that this has alleviated, this working from home, but also for those that know that this isn't what they want to do. I want to give them something too, and I know you do as well. So we're going to talk about, you know, things that help our lives that might help others who are working remotely or working online. We can talk about business tips and tricks. We can talk about advertising. We can talk about, you know, just what a day looks like and stress relief. And I mean, we can go on and on and on. So I hope that people will join in. And, you know, over the next few episodes, we'll probably dive deeper into what this business actually looks like. And then we can expand and grow from there. But, you know, we're excited to have you all. And like Janine said, please put where you're from, because I'm currently in Ontario. Janine's currently in Manitoba. You know, we're both from Alberta. So, you know, we're Canadians, but we're happy to hear from everybody all across the world.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Okay, great. Well, you guys have an amazing rest of your day. Cheers.
Cheers, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.
We'll see you next time.